Abundant Leadership Experience, written by Cyril Dias and Marcella Zoccoli. Incipit of the chapter. Cyril is a French student who had the opportunity to take a gap year between the first and the second year of his master's degree and decided to invest this time traveling by bike with three friends in an epical journey called Colybride. Their shared vision's core is to help some NGOs located on their way because they want to be useful to the people they would have met, developing their leadership skills and being of service to others. During this epical journey, Cyril continued his studies by taking the leadership course in its e learning form in fall 2017. The course is called Leadership Experience, but the fundamentals about the leadership subject are the same as the basic leadership skills face to face course. He decided to put in practice some theories and leadership styles, and above all, he applied the mindful leadership process as designed in the master thesis written by Zoccoli in 2017 and as it's shown in many of the figures of the article. Cyril decided to experience his leadership journey through his travel with the Colybride team, following and monitoring the four phases of the process. Originally, the leadership process was the result of a study conducted in a business environment. In testing it in a cultural and humanitarian expedition, Cyril contributed to explore new scenarios for its practical applications. Phase 1. The flowing phase. The first phase of the process is called the flowing phase, in which all the elements start flowing inside an ideal funnel flowing a directional model similar to that of the visionary or exemplary leadership designed by Kouzes and Posner in 2012. In this environment, the leader has to shape his/her leadership style according to the creation of a common vision and culture necessary for the growth of the organization or the company in the respect of the point of view, needs, or expectations of the followers or the employees. Zoccoli, 2017, page 77. The flowing phase of this leadership experience starts with the shared idea among four friends to cycle around the world. It took us 1 year at planning and preparation for this journey and the trip itself, and 3 years for the development and evolution of the Colybride team. César Bugueux, my friend and flatmate, he can be compared to a charismatic leader. He is the first among the people close to me who decided to travel to experience loneliness while encountering and living his values in a daily routine on a bike. He transformed the dreaming idea of traveling to real acting. When he was 18 years old, he traveled twice alone in South America for a total of 3 months. While traveling and sharing his journeys, he inspired Martin and Enguerrand, the two other members of the cycling team, and when he came back from Argentina, they created Colybride. They have set the roots of the group as the willingness to share bike touring trips. Therefore, the name Colybride is composed of the words colibri, hummingbird in the French language, and hybrid. Hybrid because the three friends of the group have a different energy and mind that makes them friends, and colibri for the story of the hummingbird from Pierre Rabhi. The story is about a huge forest fire in the Amazon, and all the animals are fleeing away to save their life, except a little hummingbird who returns several times to the fire from the lake, dropping water on the flames. An armadillo sees the hummingbird doing all this long way back and forward several times, asks him, "Why are you doing this?" It is useless. You cannot douse a forest fire with a single drop. And a hummingbird responds to him, "At least I do my part." From the very beginning, the aim of the group was about doing our part. At first, it was by promoting an eco friendly way to traveling and encounter the local population. Then we aim to share our experiences to show that this kind of experience is accessible to everyone. In creating the Colybride group, Cesar's leadership style was visionary, as the one among the 6 leadership styles of Golemon. In promoting a new way to travel, he inspired Martin and Enguerrand to follow him for a trip in Europe and then to travel on their own. The first travel inspired Martin and Enguerrand to follow César, but it also inspired Olivier, Louis, and Cyril, me. When we saw the different trips that the group had done, we wanted to be part of it, be part of something great. We had the chance to be able to take a gap year between our 2 years of the master's degree program. There was no doubt we all wanted to take this gap year to travel by bike all together. If Colybride Group already had a vision, we shared the same values and wanted to be a part of the group's vision and culture. When we defined altogether the new and common values of Colybride, César adopted a democratic leadership style, very collaborative and making sure that everyone felt part of the group and that the group represented shared values. We set the vision of Colybride as everyone can have a positive impact on itself and others while traveling and doing our part. However, a mindful team culture was not already set. The culture and missions were not fixed because we first had to experience the journey as a team. Phase 2, the chaos phase of elements and forces. In the second phase of the process, called the chaos phase, several challenges and dynamics happen on different levels, both on the leading of the self front and the leadership experience meant as relationship. And many of the elements of the leadership theories of the mindful leadership theoretical framework create some substrata of complex attributes which impact on the final process, as written by Zoccoli 2017, page 78. Thinking about the chaos phase of our journey, it fits with the first month of the travel, during which different challenges and experiences gave to all of us the opportunity to find the space we needed to lead. The goal of a mindful leader is to empower his followers so they can also be leaders. I believe that Cesar did want to empower us, or at least did not want to be the leader, the boss of the group, because we are friends. However, Cesar managed to let us in the very heart of Colybride by giving us the opportunity to make important decisions and accomplished tasks. For example, we have the chance to write several documents in the name of Colybride. Cesar let us write these papers with him first, then alone, even if they were very important to him. He adapted his leadership style to empower us as a group and individuals. As living all together 24/7, we set some rules so we could all live together in harmony. During this first month, we all improved our mindful leadership skills, especially the letting go capacity. The worst thing in a group is to tell someone, "I told you." It is a sign of frustration and can lead to tensions in the group. Therefore, we all improved our communication skills, knowing when we should talk or when we should remain silent. Louis and I are the listeners in the group. We have developed empathy skills, and consequently, it is easy for us to adapt ourselves to the group life well. However, we sometimes have the problem of hearing meaning that sometimes we forget or do not catch information. Olivier and César are here to sustain on these problems when we teach them patience. All our different skills are tested and therefore improved. Our group is like a mechanic. At first, you must know where all the components must be and what are their function, then it works perfectly. Phase 3, the mindful leadership and the network creation. In the third phase, the leader is aware and mindful. She is not only the architect and of the new shape of the organization, the team or the company, but he or she becomes facilitator and adapter. Influencing others, being among others, and producing a new frame of values and meaning, and indirectly affecting the system, the leader is agent of positive change by inspiring, leading employees and helping them in dealing with the resistance to change, as mentioned by Schlesinger and Kotter in 1979. This is a crucial step in the process of the mindful leadership, in which the leader is working for the final goal to create a mindful company or organizational culture which is projected to reach a long term network, able to work for the evolution of the system and the people involved. It is a moment of high time commitment and energy for him or her, and it is required a high level of communication skills and high level of awareness that the risk that an appropriate change can happen exists. Above all, if followers have not reached the same alignment point needed in the company. Surprisingly, this can happen despite the mindful will and condition, as written by Zoccoli, 2017, page 83. The third phase happens naturally because we experienced traveling together and managed to keep harmony in our group. We succeed to learn and improve our emotional intelligence. I think everyone in the group is a pragmatic survivor, as Kelly defines it. Depending on the situation, everyone knows by experience which behavior he should adopt. As defined by Kelly in 1992, there are 5 follower styles, but I believe that in the group we are a mix of the effective follower and conformist follower that gives a pragmatic survivor style. We are used to saying we travel through a parliamentary dictatorship where the group is more important than the individuals and where the minority does not decide unless it is in a very specific case. For example, when going through Turkish Kurdistan nearby the Iranian frontier, the army was everywhere, heavily armed and showing itself to Kurdish people because the Turkish army was bombing their relatives in the north of Syria. We agreed to choose a camping spot everyone agreed on and felt safe there. Consequently, it once took us 2 hours to find the right spot. What I want to show here is that we developed our emotional intelligence by improving empathy, interpersonal social skills, self regulation, and self awareness, when, on the contrary, our self motivation decreases for the good of the group motivation. And here we come to phase 4, which is called the economy of awareness. The economy of awareness is the fourth phase, the outcome, the product of the leadership process made by people for people. The organization, the company, is a network in which the inter and intra connections are awareness based. There is awareness about the people, the production process, the respect of the environment, the use of the resources to generate a collective prosperity. This was written by Zoccoli 2017, page 85. It took us several months, but we are now feeling to be part of the same living awareness based organism in all the 3 important dimensions: heart, body, and mind. Heart. Our why we do what we do is coming from the willingness to be aware of different cultures and their way of living, coming from the same passion and feeling to be supportive of others. Body. We are still experiencing our body strength and resistance through the biking process and nomadism lifestyle. Mind. Spending 6 hours on a bike gives you time to think and meditate, the body activity stimulating the mind. Consequently, even when we are not on a bike, we take the time to think as a group and individuals. We build a strong will as individuals and a group. We are aware that the many challenges and changes will happen during the 6 remaining months of our trip. However, the outcome of this first part of the journey is positive. From a group of 4 friends, we switched to one entity in which everyone has his personal skills and functions in the team, but always with a positive impact on himself and on others, while traveling and doing his part. As individuals, we are in a personal development process with many challenges, and we know that we have to keep working hard to achieve the mission regarding the vision and the culture of the Colybride group. Vision of Colybride. Everyone can have a positive impact on himself and others while traveling and doing his part. Mission of Colybride. To remain united until the end of the trip and after. All the group must succeed to reach the end as one and as friends. If we do not succeed, then it will be a failure. The mission is also to include Martin and Enguerrand, founders of Colybride, with César, who remain in France, but are definitely part of our project, even if they are not on bikes with us. Colybride mindful culture. Today's Colybride culture is about empathy, harmony, equality, and responsibility within the group, shifting from me to we, as pointed out by Sharman and Kaufer. It means putting our ego behind the common good. Then the external part of Colybride culture is also about empathy and harmony, but also about discovering, sharing, and obviously trying to do our part as we can. The core of Colybride is now well structured and known by every member of the group because we all designed the current core of Colybride. Within the group, we also developed a philosophy about how the members of the group should act. The 2 most important things to preserve the egalitarian and harmony in the group are responsibility and empathy. Being responsible means that you should be aware of the consequences of your individual thoughts, sayings, behaviors, and decisions on the other members and on the group. That is why we practice a very collaborative decision making process so individuals can express themselves without risking harm to the group and being judged by it. Then empathy is used to keep harmony in the group. The main way to practice empathy is by showing respect to each other, respecting everyone's privacy, feelings, thoughts, and sayings. Therefore, you should listen others. But silence is also very important. We have to well balance listening, speaking, and silence. We can resume it to communication within the group. That is very important, maybe the most important tool to preserve the harmony in the group and proceeding in this epic travel.